Good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to take some nice deep breaths in and out. In. And while we're doing this warm up, we're going to do an assessment of our body. And we're just going to see how are we feeling today. We're going to start on the floor, and we may actually be on the floor most of class today. I think is kind of going to be the plan, but we'll do our normal warm up and then we'll head down to the floor. So I would grab a mat, maybe a towel, and then there's going to be a few times we'll be on hands and knees. So if you want to have something to put underneath your knees, I do recommend that as well. Good, one more. And let's bring the arms down. We're going to take our thumbs pointing forwards and we're just going to roll our shoulders up, back, and down into our back pocket. So nice, good rolls, moving the shoulders in the joints. Good, 2, 1, shoulders down. We're going to take ear to shoulder, side to side. So think about trying to keep your shoulders nice and level. And just the head is going to tilt side to side. Let's bring our head up into the center. We're going to look to the right and we're going to look to the left. Good, here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Let's tap it to the side. Swing our arms across. And my neck kind of sounds like gravel this morning. Like you're walking down a dirt road, a country road. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Reach back. Bring the arms up. So just kind of a chopping motion. Palms facing in, thumbs pointing up towards the ceiling. Trying to find that full range of motion, and maybe for you it's here and here, and that's okay. We just want to keep our ribs tucked under, so all the movement comes from the arms. Here's 2 and 1. Let's tap it to the side, and now we're going to do our little side bends. Reach up, wash the window. Good. 6. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Feet hip width apart. Palms facing out. Thumbs pointing towards the ceiling this round. And we're just going to do some arm circles. Movement comes from your shoulders. So elbows are kind of locked out. Fingers are reaching. Change direction. You can just start with small ones. Just trying to get those muscles loosened up a little bit. Good. 3, 2, 1. Bring those arms down. Now we're going to keep our hips stationary, and we're just going to reach up towards the ceiling. Think about lifting your ribs, dropping your hips. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it into the center. Feet hip width apart. Toes pointing forwards. We're going to do our hip circles. Bring it in. Change direction. Bring it to the center. Take the feet out a little bit into pigeon toe. And then same thing. Just good hip circles. And change direction. This one feels really good today. Bring it in. We're going to do a little internal rotation, pigeon toe. Remember, our rotations are coming from our hips, not from our knees. So when we do our internal and external rotation, we start with the hips. So your hips Knees and toes are kind of pointing in the same direction. Let's change direction. Bring it into the center. We're going to go for our leg swings front to back. So hold on to something if you need to. Make sure that you have space around you so that you don't accidentally kick anything. I know this is tricky if you don't have a lot of room. There's 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching legs. So turn around if you need to. Same thing. So bellies are in. We're really just trying to do a little swing to the front, and then on the way back, we squeeze that glute. Take that foot back there. 3, 2, 1. Bring it in. We're going to do a side leg swing. So I like to have my hand on a wall, and I take my feet a couple feet away from the wall, and we're going to go out and a little cross in front. So really stand tall on the leg that's not swinging, and then try to do a big leg swing. Try to go all the way out to one side, and then as far across to the other side as your leg is comfortable with. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So out and in. And I really think about standing tall on that standing leg, because if you're relaxed into it, your other foot might not be able to swing across the floor. At 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it into the center. I'm going to take those legs nice and wide. The toes forward or a little bit out towards the corner. We're going to do our double side lunge, a little bitty pulse. A little bitty pulse. Remember, we're just warming up. So don't feel you have to get down to the floor or we have to go fast. And it's not lots of bouncing. So it's not like bounce and big. It's just down and a little bit deeper. Take it over, a little bit deeper. So if anybody's ever done any baking or worked on any arts and crafts, sometimes you want to stretch and then you just stretch something out a little bit more. I like to think about it if you've got that neck band that's just a little bit too tight. Like for people that like to wear turtlenecks, I have to stretch out that neck band. Make it more like a cowl. Good. Bring it into the center. Wide legs. We're going to hinge at the hips, front, middle, and back. So take it forwards, middle, and back. Forwards, middle, and back. We want to make sure that we're not bending our knees like this just to get to the floor, or that we're not rounding our spine. I know I'm wearing a hoodie and it's kind of hard to tell, but we want to stay tall and we're hinging. It's 100% okay if you are not able to touch the floor. So just hinge, hinge, hinge. One more time. Front, middle, reach it back. Carefully bring yourself all the way up. Keep the legs wide. Take the arms out to the side. Side lunge, and we're going to do a little torso rotation over to the side. Think about opening your shoulder up towards the ceiling. Nice, good reach. And it's okay if you're only able to do a little one and you can only reach towards your knee. Everybody's a little different. Two more. I don't know if you can hear. I'm crunchy today. Good. Bring it into the center, keeping the legs wide. Hands down to the floor. We're going to step it back into a plank position. Incline planks are okay too. And we're just going to take a good plank, back to down dog, and then back to a plank. So down dog and plank. Watch your technique. We want to think about opening up underneath the shoulders. Good. This is a really good one to do in an incline. If you're not ready to go to the floor, good, here's 2. And 1. And we're going to carefully bring our knees down to the floor. And we're going to start on the floor. We're going to start on our backs, but take a moment to grab a drink if you need it. Take a moment to turn a fan on. I am finally warm enough that I am able to take my hoodie off, but we'll see how long that lasts. But we're going to be on the floor on our backs, and we're just going to start with happy baby and hip circles. So we're going to take it all the way down onto our backs, and we're going to start just by pulling the knees into the chest, and I want you to pull the knees in and then over like we're trying to go towards our shoulders. I am just going to hug my knees, I'm trying to keep my pelvis and low back glued to the floor. Your buns will come up, and I'm just trying to go up and out. So just nice deep breaths. You can do a little wiggle side to side if you'd like. Good. And now we're going to relax a little bit, and we're going to bring the legs up so that our feet are pointing towards the ceiling. And you could grab behind your knees. You can grab from the inside and kind of get your elbow into the crook of your knee, or you can grab your feet. It's going to completely depend on how your hips are doing today. Sometimes you might have really long legs and really short arms, and so it makes it a little bit trickier. But we just kind of want to try to pull in, and again, we're pulling our knees out to the side, adding a little wiggle side to side. And just some good movement. All right, let's take our left foot down. We're going to have our foot flat on the floor. Right leg, we're going to have our knee bent and it's kind of pulled in, and we're going to use our right hand, and we're going to draw circles with our hip. So our hand is on our knee, and we're just doing some hip circles. Good, and let's change direction. So circle and circle. Good, here's 2 and 1. We're going to switch legs, so bring the left leg up, and again, we're just going to do hip circles. And your circles might not be very big, because again, you're just using your hand to move the knee, so we're trying to relax the hip as much as we can. Good, and let's change direction. Good, there's 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. We're going to take our left leg out straight. We're going to do alternating leg pull-in. So left leg is out straight. We're going to pull the right knee into the chest, and then we're going to switch. So the leg that's extending out, we want to try to straighten it and get it as close to the floor as we can, and then we pull the opposite knee into the chest. So we're switching and switching. So it's an alternating knee pull-in. A little stretch, and you can grab in front of the knee or you can grab behind the thigh. So if you need to, instead of grabbing in front of your knee, grab behind your thigh and pull it in. Just depends on how your knees are feeling today. We were trying to hug our knee, pull it into our chest, but the other leg is getting straightened out. Good squeeze. Good, here's 2. And 1. We're going to take the left leg out straight, or if you really struggle with this one, your left foot is going to be flat on the floor. But we're going to bring our right knee right above our hip. We're going to flex our right foot. We're going to straighten the knee, and then we're going to bend. This is a hamstring stretch, and this is a little bit of flossing. So be very gentle. You can see my knee does not get perfectly straight, but I get a good squeeze on my quad, and I get just a nice little gentle stretch in my hamstring in the back of the leg. And again, if you really struggle with this one, you're welcome to take your opposite foot flat on the floor so the knee is bent instead of being straight. If you're really struggling, make sure that your knee isn't pulled into your chest. Try to have it right in line with that hip. Good. Let's switch. Take it over to the other side. Same thing. So straight leg, knee is going to be over your hip. Flex your foot. We're going to straighten and bend. So straighten and bend. Nice and gentle. So we should feel a squeeze of the quad, because if we're squeezing our quad, it's telling our hamstring it needs to relax. Our muscles on the front and the back, our muscles have partners. And when one is working hard, the other one is able to relax a little bit. So having your quad work is telling your hamstring it's time for them to relax a little bit. Good, couple more. Here's 2 and 1. We're going to bring it in. Both knees bent, feet flat on the floor. We're going to take our arms out to the side, palms facing up. Try to keep your knees squeezed together. We're going to rotate both knees to one side, and then we're going to take both knees to the other. And again, trying to keep the knees together. A lot of times we go to the side and we let the knees separate. See if you can keep them together. It's okay if they don't touch the floor. And our opposite arm is going to be reaching and trying to keep that shoulder on the floor. So if the knees go to the right, the left shoulder stays on the floor. If the knees go to the left, the right shoulder stays on the floor. So it's just a little side to side. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it into the center. We're going to go for some bridges. So knees bent, feet flat. Think about your body position. Straight line from your front of your hips through your knees to your second toe. Little tuck of the ribs. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. We're going to lift, hold, and then we're going to set it down again. So good bridges. So we're just going to lift and hold and then take it back down. You can, tilt your chin just a little bit. Look down at your thighs. And see, when you lift and lower, do you see a lot of wobbling? So do you see that when you come up, your knees go out, and then when you come down, they come back in, or vice versa? Maybe you lift and your knees come in and go down, or maybe they just wiggle. So maybe they just wiggle a lot as you go up and down. Your challenge is to try to keep them nice and neutral. Lift the hips up, push the knees towards your toes. Lift and lower. Good. 4, 3. Here's 2 and 1. Bring it in. Give yourself a little bit of a shakeout. We're going to go for a clamshell bridge. So bring your feet together. If you can, we're going to take the bottoms of the feet touching. We're going to go for a clamshell bridge. So nice, good clamshell bridge. Still tucking our ribs. Think about your leg position. We're going to hold the bridge, lift it up, and then we're going to take it down again. So lift it up and take it down. We're going to get a little bit of exterior outer thigh, a little bit of side glute. So nice, good lift, nice, good lower. So we're working on mobility today, but we're also going to be working on some stability. So treat this like a therapy exercise, slow and steady. Ribs tucked, bellies in, squeeze with the glutes, stabilize those hip joints. Lift and lower. Good, we just got a couple more here. Lift it up, lower it down, thighs out to the side, and then lift and lower. Bring it in. We're going to do a little shakeout. Get back into your original position. We're going to do another bridge, but we're just going to lift and hold. So tuck the ribs, deep breath in, lift it up into that bridge, and just hold it here. So check your body position, see how you feel. Again, ribs are pulled in, so you have a nice neutral spine position. Trying to open the front of the hips towards the ceiling. Press your knees over your toes. And 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in, shake it out. We're going to roll ourselves to the side, and then we're going to roll ourselves to a hands and knees position. And actually, we're going to come onto our buns. Getting ahead of myself. So we're going to take our legs. We're going to do our 90-90. We're going to do our 90-90 or our matadors. So shoulders away from the ears, hands by the hips, and we're just going to go to right side and then to the left side. So if you have to lean back a little, you can, but I want you to stay nice and tall. And just internally and externally rotate the hips. So keep an eye on it, because I notice sometimes, even on myself, that over here I'm good, but then on the other side I rotate my entire body. So try to do just the hips. Try to keep your buns glued to the floor. So on this side I'm pretty good. On this side, this hip doesn't like to go to the floor quite as much. So it's just a nice good 90 and 90. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to take it all the way over to the right. Hold that 90-90 position. Back leg, have it bent as needed. I'm liking mine pretty open. Our first challenge is to sit nice and tall and be able to face over this thigh. Second option, can we hinge it forwards, dropping our chest towards our thigh. And I can tell it's been a little while since we've done this one. But we don't want to be rounding just to get down to the floor. I want you to hinge, almost like you're pressing your chest forward and out. And if you have to have a more upright position, that's okay, as long as you're stretching that thigh. That's what we're going for. 3, 2, 1, bring it up. We're going to take it up and over to the other side. Same thing. So try to get this front leg as close to 90-90 as you can get. Back leg, bend it as needed. First challenge, sit up nice and tall. And you're right here. So just nice good hinge. And then we take it forwards. And each side is going to be a little bit different. It's going to feel different. You might be able to go farther on one side than the other. And that's actually pretty normal. Good. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and bring it back up. And now we are going to our hands and knees position. So you can put something under your knees, or if it's being on your knees that bothers you, roll up a mat or a towel and actually place it not under the knee, but at the top of your shin. So that will elevate your knee off the ground completely, so that you will not be on the knees at all. You're taking that pressure off. And we're just going to start with cat-cow. So think shoulders down, long neck, nice neutral spine. We're going to inhale, gentle arch of the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, open the chest. Exhale, pull the belly button in, separate the shoulder blades, push the floor away, and you can tuck your neck and chin if you'd like. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, open the head if you can to try to look forwards, gentle arch. Exhale, pull the belly in and separate. If you do not want to do the arch and the round, if you have been told, do not do this at all, you have a couple options. Option 1, do small ones and don't do very many. Option 2 is hold a neutral spine and belly breathe, which means you inhale and you expand the belly, and then you exhale and you pull the belly into your spine, but there is no spinal movement. So you will work on stability, while we are working on a little bit more mobility. Good. I'm going to do one more. So I'm going to inhale, open the chest, look forward. Exhale, pull the belly buttons in. Good. And sit back. Little child's pose. And I said belly buttons. We only have one. Most of us have one. Do you have two? No judgments. Just a little child's pose, little stretch, hips to heels, reach those arms out. Add a little wiggle, stretching out underneath the arms. Good, let's go ahead and bring it back up to hands and knees. We're going to do hip circles. You can absolutely do this standing if you need to. So you're going to be tripod position, both hands, one knee. We're going to take the opposite leg. We're going to bring the knee towards the elbow, open to the side fire hydrant, but then we rotate the hip to face towards the floor, circle it around behind us, and then back down. So forward, out, circle, and bring it around. So we're trying to do a nice good circle. Use the hip joint. We don't want to use our low back, and it's okay if it's not super high. We want to try to keep our weight evenly across our hands. Sometimes we rotate and tilt our hip, or we're doing a lot of back movement. We want to just do good hip movement. Good. Now let's change direction. So now it's kind of donkey kick, bring it out and around and in. So donkey kick, out, around, and in. Good, couple more. So we're kind of going for between 5 and 10. Let's bring it in. You can sit it back a little bit, give yourself a little bit of a break. Circle those wrists. I know being on hands and knees isn't always comfortable. Let's go into position, reset, shoulders down, core braced. Switching over to the other side. So we're going to do knee forward, out to the side, rotate in, and circle it around. Knee forward, out, rotate, and in. And this is the one that I struggle with, is the going out and then coming back around. Forward, out, and around. Good, and we're going to change direction. So now donkey kick, out to the side, back around to the front. So donkey kick, out and around. Here's 2. And 1. And again, bring it in, sit it back, child's pose, reach those hands out. We're going to come back up and we're going to do some shoulder rolls. Again, you can do this standing with your arms against a wall if this is a little tricky on your hands and knees. Let's bring it up. Good hands and knees position. So just like we did some hip circles, now we're going to do some shoulder circles. So belly's in, shoulders away from the ears. So we're going to take shoulders up to the ears, squeeze the shoulders together in the back, pull the shoulders down and back, and then push the floor away. So lift, squeeze together, pull them down, push the floor away. When you're ready, we're going to be doing backward shoulder rolls. And I want you to think about your body position. Elbows are straight. Your belly button is pulled in. On this particular one especially, I kind of start to arch my low back. So my back is trying to compensate for my shoulders. Good, here's 2 and 1. Give yourself a little bit of a rest. Relax the wrists. We're going to do the same thing going in the other direction. A lot of you will probably find this easier. So now same thing. So we're going to take shoulders to ears, but now we're going to push the floor away, pull the shoulders down, and then squeeze. So ears, push the floor, pull them down, squeeze them together. Ears, push the floor, pull them down, squeeze them together. So now we're going to be doing forward shoulder rolls. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit it back. Shake out the wrist, hips towards the heels. We're going to walk our hands back to our knees, and we're going to take our knees a little bit wider. So we're in a bit of a frog position. I like my toes tucked under. You can put something under your hips if you need to. Right hand is going to be kind of close to your right knee. Push that floor away. Left hand lightly behind the ear. We're going to inhale elbow to elbow. And we're going to exhale and open that shoulder back behind us. So inhale. and exhale. Really focus on thoracic mobility so your hips are staying glued to your heels and you're just opening the shoulder back behind you. In and out. In and out. We're going to do one more. So inhale, exhale, open, and I want you to stay here. So keep it open. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, can you open just a little farther? One more time, inhale. Exhale. A little bit more. Release, bring it in, shake it out, switching over to the other side. Same thing, so hips to heels, push the floor away, other hand lightly behind your ear. Inhale, elbow to elbow. Exhale, open the shoulder behind you. Inhale. And exhale. So we want to try not to round and drop our elbow, towards our wrist or our forearm, and to not drop your head down towards your floor. So we're trying to stay nice and tall. Inhale and exhale. Go at your own rhythm and your own speed. Good. We're going to do one more. So inhale. Exhale, now we're going to hold it in the open position. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. You should be able to go just a little bit farther. One more time, big breath in. Exhale. Good job. Bring it into the center. We're going to take our hands out a little bit. Walk the knees back in. We're going to go through a little flow. So hips to heels, reach those arms out. We're going to do our wave and our up dog. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to tuck our chin, round our spine, roll through like a wave crashing to the shore, coming forwards into a plank position. Then we pull the shoulders down, point your toes, and we're going to carefully drop our hips down towards the floor. Hold it here. Look over one shoulder. Look over the other. Look back into the center. Tuck the toes under. Now we're going to lift up into down dog. Lift it up and back. Down dog, hold it, bring it to plank, hands or knees carefully come to the floor, sit your hips back into your heels. That is kind of our little flow. So tuck your chin, round your spine, straight arms, pull yourself up and through into a plank position, point the toes, variation of up dog or cobra, shoulders down, look over one shoulder, look over the other. Back into the center, tuck the toes under, lift it up and back, down dog, nice good stretch. Carefully come down to your knees. You're going to do a couple more, so sit your hips back towards your heels, stretch it out, tuck the chin, round the spine, roll through. It's a wave. You get to the rock, point your toes, lift it up. Look over one shoulder, look over the other. Back to the middle, tuck the toes under, lift it up and back, down dog. Knees back to the floor. Good, one more time, hips to heels, sit it back. Tuck your chin, around your spine, roll through, shoulders away from the ears, point the toes, up dog variation, look over your shoulder, look over the other side. Bring it in, tuck the toes under, lift it up into down dog. If you're comfortable with it, we're going to stay here. We're going to soften our knees a little bit, and we're going to do alternating heel drops. So we're going to walk the dog. You don't have to be in a perfect down dog for this. You can kind of come back to a plank if you'd prefer. Just kind of personal preference. Here's 3, 2, 1, carefully bring it back in, knees to the floor. Walk your hips back towards your heels. Give yourself a little bit of a shoulder roll. We're going to come back up to standing, or you can stay seated, but I'm going to come up to standing, and I think we're going to do our shoulder drills. We got to do our shoulder drills today. So we're going to kind of come back up. You're going to come back up to standing, grab a drink, grab your resistance, your resistance band if you have one. If you don't have a resistance band, you can absolutely still do these exercises. You do not have to skip them. You're just going to do them without a band, and that's perfectly all right. But we're just going to do our shoulder dislocates and our band pull-aparts. And remember, if you can't do this with a band, you're just going to do the same thing with your arms without the band. But start wide, shoulders down, palms facing behind you. You're going to bring it up and around, and then we're going to finish our circle, thumbs together. Then take it out, circle it around, and now we're going to rotate again, thumbs out, like you're trying to take your thumbs behind you. So bring it up, around, full circle, thumbs together, thumbs out, back and around. And it's like we're trying to get our thumbs together in the back. They're not going to go, and that's okay. Up and around, thumbs together, out and around, squeeze. So you should feel kind of a squeeze in those lats and in the shoulder blades. And again, if you can't do this, I know sometimes you have one shoulder that works and one shoulder that doesn't. Do the best you can with the one that works. Do the best you can with the one that doesn't. So do this without the band. Do this with your hands against the wall. So you can draw circles. You're standing sideways to the wall and you do your shoulder circles that way. Or you can just do best range of motion you can. And then especially when we get to this point, you can do this one, right? That's going to help you with strengthening those muscles. So even, if you have to stay here and do this, this is going to help strengthen those muscles. So you've got this. Goal is to try to do about 10, and you know that I don't ever count, so I'm going to do one more. So bring it up and bring it back around and in, and then take it out and around and back. Good. And just kind of shake it out a little. We're going to take our palms facing up. We're going to do 10 right, 10 left, and then 10 both. So shoulders down and back into your back pocket, palms facing up. Lock in your left arm. That's part of the exercise. And then we're going to take our right arm back. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can give yourself a little shake out if you need it. Take it back out, reset, shoulder down, right arm is locked in now, left arm, we take it back and in. Two more, 9 and 10, bring it in, a little bit of a shake out, shoulders down and back, reset, belly's in, palms up, really try to get it all the way back. 2, 3, keep those arms parallel to the floor. Here's 2 and 1, bring it in, take those arms down, set the band off to the side. We're just going to do nice, good shoulder rolls. Kind of shake it out a little bit. And then shoulders down and back into your back pocket, ear to shoulder, side to side. Bring the head up. We're going to look to the right, look to the left. Let's bring it into the center. Big breath in, spread the fingers, spread the toes. And exhale. One more time, big breath in. And out. And you are all done.